Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. This may be considered a little dramatic today. Some of you may not agree with today's video, may upset a few of you, I don't know. But hey, it's not the first time that's ever happened, isn't it? I believe the Republic has fallen. And let me get into why I think that is. It's not that it's just now fallen, it's that it's become so overtly obvious that the Republic has fallen. On a personal note or local note, today starts the Ozarks Homesteading Expo. It's a large event that I'm not putting it on. Don't get it confused with a thing that we did last year. It's a very good show, it's a very good event. There's vendors and all kinds of homestead and some prepping things and great speakers. We were planning on going, and due to some circumstances, unfortunately, we are not going to be able to be there today. So I apologize to anyone that was hoping to run into us today. It saddens everyone. Children are upset. Wife isn't happy. I'm not happy. But hey, things happen and you just have to move on. If any of you were online over the last 12 to 16 hours, especially on social media, I'm sure you couldn't help but notice that former President Donald Trump was arrested, booked, photographed, and released under a $200,000 bail in Georgia. Now, before we go any further, I know what some of you, many of you, are going to say. So a lot of you, I think, kind of consider things or look at things the same way I do. That, you know, you're not a big fanboy of Trump. Some of you just don't like him at all. Doesn't mean you're liberal. You just don't like him. Some of you think that he's part of the problem, or that he's just playing a part, you know, between the thing that he pushed into everyone's arm and stuff like bump stocks. I get it. That's not what we're discussing here. It doesn't even matter at all whether he's a good guy or bad guy. What matters is what's happening. Of course, some of you love him. And again, I'm not here to debate that. That's not the topic. It doesn't matter. What matters is that yesterday, in a much more public, in-your-face way than the previous charges that's been laid against him, we watched him being taken in and booked, a photograph released of him, his mugshot, along with all of his co-conspirators, which is his attorneys for the most part. I mean, that's another thing. So we're now arresting attorneys, and believe me, I'm not a big fan of lawyers, but we're arresting attorneys because they defended their, their client. I mean, are we going to start arresting defense attorneys that get out there and say, my client's innocent of these murder charges? He didn't do that. We're here today to prove that he's innocent of these murder charges. And then when they find out that the client is actually guilty of the murder charges, are they going to turn around and start arresting the attorneys and saying, see, you were publicly going along with this false narrative that he was innocent? There's a dark day that we are at in this country. And it doesn't even matter what your opinion is of someone's political affiliation or direction. When we are arresting and charging a former president and the leading front runner, the person that would, if the election was completely honest and held today, would probably win. We're arresting him because of mostly things that he said. We are arresting his attorneys for just defending him. And we look at all the other corruption. We've always known that there's a two-tier legal system in this country. But now, it's becoming pretty obvious. I was reading something the other day. I can't remember the exact quote that I was reading. But when when a government, when tyrannical overlords get to the point that they do things just out in the open, or they're not trying to hide their actions, and that's a sign that the tyranny is pretty much set in place. I mean, you can look at corruption and crimes done by elected officials going back, well, you can go further back, but let's just go back to the Oklahoma City bombing that blew up 4 days before Hillary's trial thing began, destroying all the evidence and killing one of the people that was set to testify against her. The Obamas, all the stuff that went on there with him and Hillary, the Bidens, tons and tons of just very shady / criminal things. I mean, we could go on and on and on. And missing emails, you know, they bust Trump for boxes of classified materials, and they all have classified materials at their properties. I mean, it's one thing that Trump said that may be the more true thing he ever said, that it's not really about him, it's about us. And they are showing that the gloves are off, that they're no longer trying to give this illusion that America is a free republic, because they don't care about that anymore. They know they've gained so much control and power that no longer matters. When we are arresting a former president, current frontrunner of the election, there's very few countries that do that, and the ones that do, they're kind of banana republics. They're places like Cuba, the Soviet Union, communist China. That's the kind of places that do this kind of stuff, folks. And it doesn't matter whether you like Trump or not. What matters is that they are showing that they have full control. Now, I want to address this thing of Trump just for a moment, because I know that there are some of you, I read the comments sometimes, and it doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong. Some of you will say, well, Trump's just playing a part in the plan. He's just as much part of the globalist, and, you know, he's got his part to play. Even if that's true, my statement is the same, that we have turned to a dark page in America. If Trump is a good guy, like a bunch of the rest of you think, and that he's truly out there fighting for us and fighting for freedom and stuff, then we have truly turned a dark page into this country. It doesn't matter at this point. What matters is that we have gone down a path now. Bugs are all over the place this morning. That we've gone down a path now that I don't believe that there's any turning back. And I believe that I don't think an election's going to save this one, folks. I don't think a candidate running for any kind of political office is going to save this one, folks. And I think we need to have a wake-up call. Many of you already have, but a wake-up call that we're not the same country we once were. You don't go around doing this unless it's so obvious and so criminal. Most of these charges are they're laughable. They're absolutely... I don't think Trump is the greatest thing since sliced bread, all right? Y'all know that. And I think he's done some wrong things. But these things that they're arresting him and charging him with, most of them are absolutely ridiculous. And we all know that. And we know that his poll numbers just keep going up. So that certainly they're not doing, and they know that too. Excuse me. They know that every time they charge him, indict him, arrest him, throw his mugshot out there, that his base just grows. They know that it increases his popularity and his numbers. So they're obviously not doing this to hurt his numbers. They know that it's helping him. So why are they doing this? Because they know they can. and they know the outcome, and they know that they're setting a precedent, and they're also sending a message that if they can do this to someone like him, someone that was a former president and a current front runner, then you and I, the little plebes, the peons, they can do anything they want to us. This is a dark day for the Republic. The Republic's been broken for a long time. It's quite possible this is the first big sign that the Republic has died. And again, it's not even really about Donald Trump. It's about the system showing its true colors and what it is capable and willing to do to enact complete, total globalist control over all of us. I don't know what your plans are, what you're doing with your life, how you look at things, but, whew, man, goodness, gnats are bad this morning. But if you're not taking notice and getting ready, if you're not getting groups going on, getting yourself stocked up, if you're not getting the training that you need, and even if for some reason you can't get that training by someone else, just get out and do it yourself. If you're not preparing yourselves for a very rough road ahead, then you're just gonna be, I hate to say it, I'm trying to think of a nice way to say it, you ain't gonna make it, all right? You're not gonna make it. And maybe if that's your plan, that you feel like you're so defeated you can't make it, you're just gonna roll over and take it. It's not good to do. That's not certainly what I would advise you to do. Bible says that those that endure to the end. I know that may be speaking of spiritual sense, but it's also true in a physical way. You need to fight to the end. You need to stand up against this. Not just roll over and play dead. You need to just get yourself ready. I mean, I'm trying to figure out the right thing to say because it's such a public thing here. Certainly don't want to be ruby ridged. So, folks, it's not going to get any better. It's just not. You need to accept that. It's not going to get any better. I don't think there's anyone coming to save us, at least not a person. I don't think an election's going to turn things around. I don't think just because America's big and bad and cool means that we're just going to win. We'll be defeated from within. I mean, we've known that for years. These outside forces, they'll just come in and clean up what's left over. But we're being defeated from within, folks. And you need to be taking things seriously. I know most of you are, but some of you aren't. Some of you think it's a joke. Some of you like to just piddle around online and laugh at all of us. Fine. You can be laughing while we're stepping over you. You need to be preparing in every way you possibly can. We've got, very likely, I think at this point, some type of lockdown measures. We don't know how severe they'll be in the coming weeks or months. Very likely, climate emergency stuff happening. There's been more fires. Another community down in Louisiana had to be evacuated for some more fires. They're all over the place. BRICS is growing, trying to defeat the United States economically. China and Russia about ready to steamroll over us, or at least attempt to. There's so much going on. And I know things are tight. I know money is bad for everyone right now. Trust me. I get it. But sacrifices need to be made sometimes. And this is a time for that. This is a time to make sacrifices so that you and your family are ready for what's happened. It's time to cut things off and cut things back and sacrifice pleasures at times so that you can prepare yourselves for the troubled times ahead. When I say troubled times, I think that's pretty a light assertion. It's going to be rough, bad. And I don't think that most people really get that. You need to be getting your houses in order. The republic's dead, it's dying. And you need to be preparing for what awaits us. Get ready, folks, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video. Folks, we are living in uncertain times where chaos seems to be around every corner. With wars and rumors of wars, economic collapse, pandemics, and more, we should strive daily to become more prepared mentally, physically, and of course spiritually. Please check out My Patriot Supply for all your preparedness needs. My Patriot Supply offers Ready Hour food, Alexa Pure water filters, and many other emergency and survival products. My Patriot Supply is an American-owned company, run by Americans producing American-made food. Emergency food from My Patriot Supply has a 25-plus year shelf life. It's simple to fix and delicious to eat. With My Patriot Supply, you can sleep at ease at night knowing that you and your family have the emergency food to last through the coming times. To find out more, click on the link in the description below or go to preparewithtravis.com.